your cow has had a calf. Now what do? Hey everyone, it's Ricky here from Connerty Meadows Farm. I'm going to take you through the steps that we go through when our cow Freya has a calf, and the medical things that we do, and the things that we do for the calf to get her up and going. When a cow calves, there's a few things that you need to look out for, especially if you have a Jersey. Now, Freya here is a Belfair, so she's half Jersey, half Dexter. But the Jersey medical intervention still needs to get done. So Jerseys are very prone to something called milk fever. And they're also prone to having ketosis. Look up both of those things and see what the symptoms are so you know what you need to do. In this video, I show you how I treat them and what I do to help it not be so bad. So last night I brought the cow into the barn. I knew that her udder was growing at a very large rate. I had my alarm set for 5 a.m. just a little bit after or before the dog wanted out. So I thought, well, I'll go out and check on the cow anyway. And can you see that? There we go. That's what I walked into. I wasn't surprised though. I could see all the signs were there that we had a calf on our hands. So the first thing we're going to do is I went and I grabbed the iodine and our little container, and this is to dip their navel. I also have some old towels here. I have these for whenever we have babies on the farm. Kidding season, so baby goats is coming up soon. So I always have fresh towels ready to go. I pick up at the secondhand stores to help me wipe babies off. Good girl, mama. So I've had this cow a year. I know her temperament. She's okay with me being in here. Let's have a look. We're going to check if it's a boy or a girl. And we have a little girl. All right. Do my best to see if we can get this navel dipped. So I take this, I put it in this little container, and I need both hands, so hang tight. So that's her navel right there. You can see where the belly button was attached. Good girl, Freya. Okay, I tried to show you dipping the navel, but I don't have my stand with me because I literally am doing this on my phone. I kind of half suspected I'd be here, but not. So I've dipped her navel. Essentially, we just take this and we put it where her navel would be. And I put it up underneath, and then I like swish it around like this on her. And that makes sure that we've got that dipped so that no more bacteria can get inside the calf. I'm gonna help mom dry a little bit. Normally I'd let it go. It's fairly cool in here though, so the calf is shivering. I wanna help get her dried off a bit, and then we're gonna get her up and get her drinking. And you can see the placenta hanging there from her. That is normal. Do not pull it. Nice, warm water. So that had powdered molasses that also has quite a bit of other stuff in it. And it just helps to give her a little boost. And now she's just licking the powdered molasses off the bottom. I will give her a smidge of grain as well. We just want to make sure that she's got lots of good energy after having a baby. Quite enjoyed that. Oh, now I gotta go back and worry about our baby. All right, let's get this baby up, girl. As I'm helping dry the calf off and Mom is licking, I was checking to see if calf had a suck reflex, which means that she's warm enough to get milk into her. And she's working on standing, so this is excellent. I just brought in a whole bunch more straw, cleaned out the stall so that we're working with clean. She hasn't delivered the placenta yet. Again, that's okay. Sometimes it's a couple hours. She just had a manure, so I'll have to clean that again. But we've got most of the calf dried off at this point. Iodine has dipped. Once the calf is fully up and on their feet, I will do a second iodine dipping, and that's just for my own peace of mind. I just like to make sure that we have lots of iodine on there, so she's not likely to have an infection. I obviously got iodine all over me. It won't hurt me though. I didn't have time to go grab gloves, so I don't care. We have not, so the next thing that we'll have to do once the calf gets up is on each of her teats, there'll be a plug. And that plug has kept bacteria out this whole time. So we will have to get in there and strip that plug out so that baby can get onto Mom. Now, normally, you do try to be fairly hands-off, but we live in Canada. You see how cold it is in here? So, I like to try to help Mom quickly get the ears and the tail and the legs. The moms usually do pretty good getting their body. It's important that we get this baby up and drinking as soon as we can, as soon as her body is warm, because that'll help warm her up. I always think Jerseys look like little deer. So we're gonna help guide baby to teat. She's got a good suck reflex, so she's sucking on my finger. So I'm gonna bring her with my finger down to the teat, which I've already taken the plug out of. And there we go. You hear the sucking? Yeah. There you go, kid. We want to make sure she gets a nice strong latch and has a good belly pull. The other thing that getting a calf nursing right away does is it helps to get Mom's placenta out. It is important to note that if the calf is not warm enough, it will not be able to drink. So get it to the right temperature. So we need to break the seal. There. The other side was where the calf was drinking, so it's already leaking. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna spend a little more time with Mom and Babe here, making sure Babe gets enough to drink, and is up and ready to face the world. Once Babe has enough to drink and stops trying to drink, then I will let them be for a bit, and then I'll come back in an hour or so and give her another iodine dip and make sure she has another drink. So through the day today, I'll make sure I'm out here every 3-ish hours to make sure this baby is drinking. All right, baby just pooped. So you'll notice the first poop. So this is actually a meconium kind of poop. This is what was in their body when they were in uterus. And getting them fed helps get that through. So I know that I've had her up a few times now to drink. So that's good. She's still a little cold. It's a little cold out here. I'm going to I keep drying her. Because my cow had false heats through her whole pregnancy, we didn't actually know she was pregnant until we had the vet out. I thought she was cystic, and it's not uncommon for cows to have ovarian cysts. And then it's just a special medication, and sometimes it takes a month, sometimes it takes 2 months to clear the cysts up. So I called the vet last month, the beginning of March, because I wanted to make sure that we bred her so that I wouldn't be having a winter baby. So we brought the vet out, and I knew it. She stood up and he goes, "Sweetheart, you're fat." I thought, he's going to tell me there's a calf in there. And I had already begun to kind of think maybe there was. Anyway, stuck his hand in. Sure enough, she's pregnant. So we did cold turkey dry off. And I do have a video on the drying off, which I'll attach in one of these places. Anyway, so because she only had 28 days to dry off, there can be more complications than normal. One of the biggest complications that we can run into is she is not going to have enough colostrum or good quality colostrum. Thankfully, I have colostrum in my freezer. So I'm actually going to go ahead, and even though the calf has drank really well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to force this colostrum down into the calf so that I'm absolutely sure she's had a good amount of colostrum. Uppy, uppy. Uppy, uppy. There we go.
I'll just stick them in her bum for you.
Perfect. Mama's licking her bum to make her want to nurse. Oh. little tipsy-turvy. Up-a-daisy. Ups-a-daisy. Good job.
She's drinking her pee.
Oh, is she peeing?
Yeah, and she's drinking it.
Well, peeing is a good thing. It means that she had lots to drink this morning, which... yeah, she pooped this morning too. All right, baby drank all the colostrum I had in here, which is great. Now I can get baby on to mom. Now you'll notice mom is licking her bum end. That stimulates her desire to nurse. And oftentimes they'll pee, which she actually did while I was bottle feeding her. If you come up in close here, you can see how I'm having to hold her head to get her on. So I'm using my finger to get her down near the nipple. Her suck reflex is good. And then she's in and sucking. She might be a little bit full because I did get a bottle into her. I know it hurts, Mom. You're being a good mom. There we go. And if you look very carefully, you'll see she's got let down, so she's actually leaking a little bit on her back nipple there. I don't know if you can see the milk falling. Yeah. There you go. Good job. Don't bunt yet. You're not old enough to figure out how to get back on. We've already iodined her once, but now we're going to do it the second time because she's up and walking around. So in this dish we have the iodine. We put it right underneath, and then we swish it around. And again, this is just to help prevent infection. And that's that. Done. So the calf has nursed from the front 2 quarters. These back 2 quarters are really engorged, so I'm only going to take enough milk out that she is relieved of some pressure. Jersey cows are known for getting milk fever if you put too much milk in them. And she's not happy because she doesn't have grain in front of her right now. But we just want to do enough to relieve some pressure here for her. We don't want to over milk and stimulate. Tonight she'll get milked more. If you're milking your cow and she has a bunch of swelling here underneath her belly, that's normal, and that's called edema. And if you can't figure out why her udder is absolutely massive and you're not getting milk out, it's also because she has edema. And sometimes it takes a few days for their milk to come in. So if the first few milkings you hardly get anything at all, that is completely normal to wait for the milk to come in. Because Jerseys are prone to milk fever, this is all the milk that I took out of the back teats. Tonight, we will put her in the stanchion and we will milk her by hand tonight to relieve some more pressure. We'll probably milk her about halfway out, not all the way out. And now let's get ready for a little medical care for the calf. So this is called selenium and it has E in it as well. And for a calf, Jersey calf, you're going to use 1 cc. And so you draw the syringe back. The top of this bottle has already been sanitized. And then you're going to add the air in so you can take a little bit more than the 1 cc out. And then you push the plunger back in until you have 1 cc. We need to give our calf here a selenium injection because we are selenium deficient in this area. There's 2 places you can give an injection. One is in the back here of a calf, so sort of in this bum area. But the most recommended spot for an injection is here in the neck. So you want to give selenium intramuscular. So that means we're going to go into the muscle, not just under the skin. So the reason why they tell you to give an injection in the neck and not in the back end here in the butt is because come butcher time someday later in their life, it could actually damage their meat source. So that's why they recommend it up here. So I just like to make sure there's a triangle area here, you'll see. And this is where I like to put the injections. So you're going to inject in. And you're going to pull back, make sure there's no blood. Get the rest of the way in. Rub it. And we're good. And that'll protect baby. Now, even if your cow is excellent in the milk stand, once they calve out, don't be surprised if they kick and they jump and they pull back on the head gate. All of these is hormonal and perfectly normal. You just basically have to put up with it and retrain them. Don't let them get away with it. So tonight my girl got really kicky, so we had to put the kick bar back on, and I'm sure a lot of that is just she's really full of edema and it's uncomfortable, which is fine. And then she was not happy leaving her baby, so she was really yanking on the head gate, so I brought the baby out. I did not film any of this because I knew chances are she was going to go a little crazy. So I just needed to focus on dealing with it and not recording it. And I was right. She peed and she pooed on the milking stand, which she has not done since she had her baby last year. Again, these are all normal behaviors. They need to relearn what the system is, and hormones are like a huge part of what you're going to be dealing with. This whole thing that people think that it's okay, I'm gonna ignore her for a week and her hormones will settle down and then I can work with her. Please do not do that. You are setting up your cow's milking supply now and for the next 3 months. So that hormonal toddler that you have still has to listen to the rules, and they still have to listen to you, and you may have to get a little more physical than you normally would to make them listen. Don't let them get away with it, or you'll have even a harder time later on. Unpopular opinion, of course, but your cow still needs to listen to you. And don't worry, your sweet cow will come back. Once things calm down, your sweet cow will come back. She's just a little hormonal right now. I've gone ahead and I have milked a little bit out of her back teats, and I'll show you that bit. I've given a little bit to the cats as well, but she's got quite a bit of edema, so I put on a little bit of a mint spray. She wasn't really letting down for me. So calf has been filled. Mama's in here. I just want you to see what's going on here. So I have this blue mint spray, and it's actually helping with the letdown. And at this point, I don't care that I'm not catching the letdown so long as she's letting down. And she is. I made sure I only put the mint spray on the back because the calf has been drinking off the front 2 teats. Again, we do not want to take too much milk, as she is half Jersey. She's very prone to milk fever. So letting this happen naturally is the best course of action. I'll show you the spray I use as well. So I am not using the milking machine tonight, but there's the colostrum that we took only from the back teats. And like I said, I did give a little bit to the cats, but I do not want to over milk her. Now, the thing that I put on her udder, in Canada, we probably could get your lovely Synergy products, but we really don't have easy access to them. So this is what I use. I like it because I can just spray it on. So I literally just sprayed it on the back end. Like I said, the calf has not been trying to drink from those, and they're the hardest for me to milk because she has ridiculously small teats. So just spraying this on helped her let down, as you had seen in there, and she was just letting it all out herself, which I'm happy with that. So long as she is relieving herself of the milk, then that's good. Tomorrow morning would be 48 hours after calving. So in the following day, we'll get the milking machine out and we will milk her out. By then we're on, like the second, third day, basically. And generally by then, you should be okay. If not, I do have some of the ferrocalcium. So I gave her half a dose as per the vet's instructions, and this can go into the milk vein. It can go into under the skin, or it can go intravenous. I just went ahead and I put it just on her neck, under the flap of skin in here. Same place that I gave the selenium shot to the baby calf. And it's just enough that if there was any milk fever starting, it kind of held it at bay. That other half of the syringe, the vet said, is for if I notice signs, I'm to go ahead and give the second half of that syringe to. Anyway, so that's where we are. Mama is in there. Babe is there chilling out. And I will be, what are we now? I think we're about 11 p.m. I'm going to go ahead and I will probably come back to the barn 4 or 5 just to make sure that the calf has another drink. And then tomorrow, hopefully by then, later in the day, she'll have figured it out. Success. Baby is finding the teat all on its own. Oh, until I start talking. Good girl, Mama. This morning we made the call to go ahead and actually put the milker on her. Her teats are so small and she has so much edema on her udder right now. I could not milk them. I had a really hard time last night. So we literally put the milker on. I think I timed it at like a minute or less, just enough to relieve some pressure in here. You can see like, now this blue is that mint spray that I showed you. But I did not want to over milk her. Now tonight, we'll put the milker on again and we'll milk for a little bit longer of a period of time. And then by tomorrow morning, we're gonna go ahead and milk her out as we normally would. Now we milked her enough that the front teats are a little wrinkled and the back teats have a little bit of a wrinkle. But you can see the amount of edema in here. Poor girl. And this is normal. Edema is normal. The one thing you do watch for is between the udder and the leg up in there. I'll check tonight. Is sometimes they'll get sores from the edema. And I find to help heal those sores, the best thing is diaper rash cream. Now here in Canada, we have pseudo cream. And I really like that one. It works really, really well. So tonight I'm going to have a look, make sure that she doesn't have any sores. If she does, I will be treating with pseudo cream. This little one is up and walking around. I know Freya would like to go out today, but little one here is not ready to go out in all that snow. I don't know if you can see it out there, but we probably still have about 2 feet of snow out there, so I don't want to put her out quite yet. This is what I pulled out of the milker this morning. If I had to guess, probably 2 liters-ish. Again, we had it on for less than a minute. I did not want to put it on any longer than that because we don't want to cause her to have milk fever. Tonight, we'll put it on for a bit longer. Another product that I use besides the blue spray is this stuff right here. And it is made by a local company. They I think are very similar to Synergy products. They're just the Canadian version. And we've had really, really great success with them, and they are made in Canada. So I also use this one. The first couple days of milk after you're milking a cow are not really the greatest to drink. There's still a lot of colostrum in them. So we took the milk from the first day, the little bit that I hand milked out in that pink pail, and I strained it and I put it in little baggies in the freezer. This morning's milk has a little less colostrum, so it's not really worth keeping at this point. And I don't have a lot of room in my freezer for it anyway. So I'm gone ahead and I have mixed it with chicken feed to ferment. Tonight's milking will also go in here. And usually it's about 4 to 5, maybe 6 milkings worth that we kind of discard. And we'll just simply put all of that milk in with chicken feed, ferment it, and give it to the chickens. So it's not a total waste. If we had pigs, like we had at our old farm, we would put it in with the pig slop and give it to the pigs. But we don't have pigs here. We just have the chickens. So I'll show you what we do. This is what it looks like. I have put the chicken feed in there, and then we're just gonna let it sit in here. And then tonight we'll add more grain and more milk, and we'll just let it sit for a few days. Once this pail is about 3/4 of the way full, we'll set it aside. We'll let it continue to ferment for a day or two, and then it'll get fed to the chickens. Hey, baby. Calf's having a good time. The calf has pooped. Some yellowy poops now. Let's see if I can find some for you. So that means that I can tell the calf is, see it right there, is getting enough milk. Poop is changing color. So we put the milker on Mama again tonight. I tried not to milk her out too much. Again, we don't want to deal with milk fever here, but we also don't want to deal with mastitis. I can tell which side the calf favors for drinking. In case you can't tell, it's this side. So yeah, everything's going good. We are now 2 days after giving birth. Baby is up and playing. Tomorrow we are going to milk her out fully as per normal, and we are going to go about life as per normal. So we will be milking twice a day for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Usually what happens is the calf will start to take all of the milk, and at that point then we go into once a day milking. And how we do that is that we will lock the calf up at night where Mom can see it so it's not panicking. And then after the night, we will milk in the morning, and then we'll let Mom and calf out, and Mom will hold back milk for the calf. I know you don't believe me that it's possible, but I promise you it is. And then Mom and baby get to go out all day together and then get locked up in the evening. And we will do that right up until weaning time. Baby's feeling really good. If it's a nice day tomorrow, we might even actually put baby outside. We'll see. If at this point in time, baby was lethargic and only lying around and wasn't getting up and doing anything, then you would know that it wasn't getting enough to drink. Babies do sleep a lot, so coming in and seeing the baby sleeping is not a bad thing. But when you come in and the baby's jumping around like this and having fun, baby is definitely getting enough to drink. Well, that little girl knows where to find supper. There you go. We've definitely got milk coming through this little baby now. Good job. That's what you want to see. Good color change. Baby's drinking well. So along with 4 or 5 poops, she peed this morning on the stand again. As their hormones are readjusting, this is not uncommon. And she gave us about 5 liters of milk. She seems to be doing really good. She has a huge appetite. She's drinking a lot, so I think we're okay. But a little precaution is not a bad thing. So that's this morning's milk. That whole bucket is 8 liters. There's a little reading on the side, and it's about 5 liters. And I milked with the milking machine. It was clean, but the bucket was dirty when we poured it in there. That's why there's dirt and stuff in it. But it's going to the chickens, so it doesn't matter. And no sooner did we get Mom back in her stall than baby is coming over for a drink. I've slathered her in the peppermint scented cream this morning, so Babe is having a little bit of fun. You can definitely see which side Babe drinks from, though. It's the edema goes down a lot faster when a baby's drinking from it. Oh, look at that. See that nice little yellow stuff there underneath the calf? That is calf poo-poo. It's definitely drinking well. It's pretty cold outside today, so we're going to leave them in another day. And if it's decent tomorrow, they'll go out for the day and then come back in at night. We just have to keep an eye on the weather. Let's talk a little bit about milk fever, since that's one thing I keep saying I'm watching for. So the first couple things that you're going to notice if your cow has milk fever is they're not going to be eating. or they're not going to be eating vigorously. The other thing you'll notice is they start to tremble. So it'll almost be like they're shaking, like they're cold, but they're really not. And if you feel their ears when they're trembling, their ears will actually be cold. Those are the first couple signs of milk fever. The next signs are your cow has gone down. And she will have her neck kinked at a really weird angle, kind of like throwing back. And if they are down a long time, that is when your biggest problem is going to be. Because when a cow is down, their rumen doesn't work very well. And then they end up with gas that they can't get rid of. And if they can't get rid of the gas, they bloat. So you've got to, if you can intervene when you first notice it, when their ears are cold and they're trembling and they're not eating, if you can get the calcium into them then you're already further ahead than if you find them when you're down. Unfortunately, missing those first signs are very easy to do. So then you end up with a cow that is down. And if you don't have the ability to know what to do, you really need to call a vet. And they will come and they will help intravenous. Prior to them going down, you can actually put the calcium under their skin. It takes a little bit longer instead of in the vein. So we lost our last Jersey to milk fever. We had the vet out 3 times. We had to lift her with the tractor. We had the hip, the little things that went on the hips, and it helps lift them and stuff like that. We did everything we possibly could, and we still lost them. If you catch them early enough, there is only a 5% chance that you'll lose them. So milk fever is not the be-all, end-all. You can still save your cow that has milk fever. You don't give up. It just, in our case, we did the bolus, we did intravenous, we did under the skin. The vet was out multiple times. We still didn't save her. So those are the biggest things to look for. Start by keeping a very close eye on their food intake. If they're trembling, like they're cold at all, so you'll just see like their skin shaking a little bit. And if their ears are cold, those are the first signs to look for. If you have any of those signs, it's time to start thinking about what you need to do next. Babies will sleep a lot. So you might not actually ever see your little calf up and drinking. But if they're doing this periodically, it means they have lots of energy. Which also means then they're getting their milk. Tonight's milking. This is a 5-gallon pail. And we are there on the 5-gallon pail. We're still not drinking this. The cats are gonna get some. And then again, I'm gonna put grain in this. And it will be for chickens. This is fermenting now. The milk and the grain is in there from the last couple days. She's done milking and straight back to her calf. So again, tonight I did milk her out. Now I did not try to massage down anything or do any extra, as I have a surge. As I noticed no more milk coming down through the silicone inflations, I was taking them off. So, I had 2 on at one point, and then I went down to 1, and then I took it off. We are not trying to push her milk production right now. I'm putting hot compresses on her udder and rubbing in the mint cream morning and night. We are keeping a very close watch still for milk fever and on the edema side of things. Put Mama and calf out for a bit today. Not too long because they're calling for a rainstorm, but long enough that Mom can stretch her legs and so can baby. Oh! Somebody's feeling good. Oh, she found a piece of the pumpkin from yesterday. She didn't like being locked up for a few days. How can you move with that Udder girl? And Red's coming over, check everybody out too. We are gonna go ahead and again, this morning's milk is dumped. And then we're just gonna add the grain for the chickens. We probably, if we had really wanted to, could have kept this morning's milk. But we just decided we still have some milk that we had purchased. We didn't know when she was going to calve, so we're just going to use up that milk first. And then we'll decide tonight whether we keep the milk or not. At this point, we definitely could go ahead and use the milk with no colostrum in it, and it would be fine. I milked about 10 minutes ago, and I milked her out. And now babe is on her again. We have left the baby on 24/7, and we will for quite some time yet, about 6 to 8 weeks. But when people tell you, don't milk all the way out, there'll be nothing left for the baby, please understand that is the furthest from the truth. Look at that little milk mustache. What are you doing? Let's see what color it is. Oh, and that's how you know your calf is getting enough milk. Look at that nice, bright, orangey color. Good stuff, little one. Now it's gonna go back to drinking. So they'll only be out for a little while today. We're due for a really big storm a bit later today, so I figured I put them out, let them stretch their legs for a little bit before I put them back in. Her udder is starting to soften up decently with all of the peppermint creams and stuff. Poor Red over there certainly missed her friend, so she's happy to watch on over the fence. Moo. Are you coming out, Freya? It's a beautiful day. Your calf's coming.
Careful.
Careful. Somebody's happy again. Moo. The goats, the sheep are like, what is that? The goats are like, oh, another one of you. Did you guys forget what a calf looked like? So the calf was born on Tuesday morning, 5 a.m. We are now Saturday, late morning. The edema is definitely going down, as you can see by her back udder here. This is the calf's second day outside. We would have had her out a lot earlier, but the weather has been terrible. We had a big snowstorm and then a big rainstorm. And then, so we have the cow and the calf out here with the goats and the sheep. And the reason they are in here and not with the horse is there's a lot more dry areas in this field. I know it still looks really, really wet, but up here on this mound, there's a lot of dry area and the hutches are there that are nice and dry. So that's why the cow and the calf's in here. And these guys are not gonna hurt the cow and the calf, whereas the horse might actually not like the calf and get in at it. Oh, there we have it. The other reason why they're in here and not out with the horse is because I only have 2 strands of electric fence. So the calf is actually safer, fully enclosed in the pen here. So there you have it. We've taken you through the beginning steps. From now on, it's just fully milking this cow out. The milk is usable at this point. We're using this morning's milk to go ahead and drink and bake and cook and make cheese and do all the stuff that we normally do. So there is no reason to dump the milk anymore or ferment the milk anymore. We're going to go ahead and use it, and it'll be perfectly fine. For those of you that have enjoyed this and learned something, don't forget to give us a like, thumbs up, all that fun stuff, and subscribe, and we will see you next time on the farm. Thanks for hanging out with us.